Eddy Malivir here, your host, who loves you the most. What I need is the Blender 3.6, the Godot, pardon, Godot 3.6. I'm intentionally going through there. I've seen there are sometimes more chapters for some specific use cases. I don't need to do all videos for both versions. That's not the goal here. The goal is to get the best of both previous version, version 3 ecosystem, and go further with the latest developments. But I keep on stable for the sake of sanity. The production in the beta alpha releases candidates, I can't guarantee. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not a beta tester, let's say, just put it in simple terms. So I need to, of course, zoom in, right? That's how we do it here. Zooming, I got the guess there should be a project day 12. No, I don't know. Tutorials. Okay. 101 nodes. Okay. So I got some tests. Try 3D project. Default new. Is this 3? Yeah, 3, 6. This is 3D tutorials by name. Maybe last modified, huh? How about that? Yeah, thank you. How smart is that? So that's this, but okay, 3.6. I didn't go through this documentation in detail. 3.6. I'll use it here, keep it over here handy for the reference, but this is the thing. This is the last thing I've done, so it means I guess select the last project in the manager and say run it. Okay, so I can I didn't define the main scene because it's a lessons recipes compilation. That's the thing. So I keep everything covered so far, it seems, in the different scenes. Yeah. So I need to select the scene. That's the thing. So 3D 2 importing. That's the script. So what do I have here? Can I get a little bit of extension just to read these huge, humongous lines of file names? This intro 3. I guess this is the thing. So I run the scene. What did I say? Open this. Yeah, this is the last thing that we have done. So this works with the mouse. I had to kind of hack my way around to figure out, like all the time in the Kids Can Code recipes, you need to take a peek in the video because sometimes text version doesn't work and the video is later version or whatever, and in the text version they missed sometimes they don't put all info, they don't break everything down. But if you go like from the basics, from the official manual, you'll find your way around after a few days, hack your way through. Why is this so huge? So this is previously in the previous episode. And to go around their hiccups in the courses here, in the recipes, you might find hints, let's say, in their screenshots, or even in the video. You look at the video and you see, oh, there you go. Or even if the lesson has a Git repository for the source, you can check there and see if the recipe is broken on itself. Who's the insane guy here? Gal, whoever. And get through it on your own, hacking yourself through. But you need to get through the basics, and then you'll get comfortable in a couple days. I don't know, like 12-ish hours, depends on your talent skills. So in this lesson, I need to hit next, right? No, there is no next. It's the number 4 using area. So I'm in the version 3 section of the Kids Can Code recipes, Godot 101. They are good interactive, suggestive examples. I don't think they're tutorials, because you often come into dead ends, but not complete dead ends, just you'll need to tinker around. So this is also like a basic, but more with exercising materials. Good. I suggest, but like I repeat always, get yourself familiar with basics. And when you get comfortable with that, after a few exercises from the official documentation, whichever version you want to use, you're on a roll. I'll just pull an example for the Blender courses that I was running. I was not happy until I found the text versions for Blender, or let's say tutorials or training, free. Broken because for me the videos are not practical. It's even slower to follow along because of the type of medium. Video is just the type of medium. You cannot track it like you can track text. Text is sitting still on your screen. You can just read through it. Video, you need to always back and forth. Switching it back and forth, rewind to get the info, the step. So it took me 7 days to get really comfortable. 7-8 days with Blender. I'm a few days behind from Godot, but during this last week I've managed to switch like regularly, daily. One day Blender, one day Godot, keeping the pace. Well, it looks like that I'm having also the day introduction. Yeah, day section. A day day chapter introduction section, because this is all together taken 20ish minutes. So each day might get in the next stages in the video format, day intro and day recap. Interesting. Shouldn't be maybe the intro, the recapitulation from the previous one. That would also be like a self-defeating purpose. Just final quality assurance test, stream health. Before heading off further officially. That sounds reasonable. Yeah, I'm convinced. Hitting stream marker and let's dig in. So I can F8 close this. I'm here in the Kids Can Code Godot 101 chapter using areas, which is, and this is day 13 for Godot in version 3.6 even in 2024. This seems the beginning. These sections seem for me like I don't know, last year, but it was just a couple days ago. But as I see the code, as I see the project, and I'll just add a new scene in the same project for this section, and I'll build actually, and I'll actually use this to build like an I don't know, learning tool, interactive app, like a project catalog about this thing, about this these recipes, the 101. So I can, at the end, when I'm confident enough, I can add a main scene as a main menu with options, with links to select, buttons to select, user interface to go through each day project, depending on this, on the recipe type given in the here in the documentation. So using areas, this looks kind of interesting. This was, so if I taken a look ahead, so this was 101 getting started, and then we have the basics. So this will get interesting, or again or further, understanding tree order. But I like taking these exercises because I like it the way it's broken down here. This is good for, again, for practice, and more condensed learning material, mapping the path for a more efficient workflows using the engine. A task-oriented project solving. As this is recorded live, I need to occasionally take a 5 seconds pauses, because when using video editing tools in the cloud, they don't allow sometimes precision at the frame level in the video, about the millisecond, tenth of second, just trimming out chunks of seconds from the video. So I need to allow my video editor those pauses so you can trim cut more efficiently. This is what did I open? What, 101. I guess this is the main. So using areas, that's where we are. In the last part we learned about transforms, a very important concept in 3D that records an object's local orientation in space. So this is in 3D transforms. We're not dealing in 3D, we're not dealing with 2D position. In 3D we get the transform, which is a combination of several parameters that define the state of an object, that describes all the properties for it. In a 3D environment, three-dimensional transforms, where they are, are these the transforms? Yep. Translation, so is that character, do I get the main, I get the scenes here. Is there a main scene for this character, free guy? And this is the scene that it is, the scene which is. So how come I don't have any script? So all scripting is done in the character. So I want to check the reference about the speed, the transforms. Where are the transforms? Okay, so we have here, for example, implementation of the input controls, for the player is controlling, passing. This function are evaluating the pressed keyboard buttons and calculating the direction and using these transforms. So that's implementing in this example in a script for a scene where the character is defined, which is not the main, this one. There is a dedicated scene for that. But I'm already past that, so on to this thing. That's just for the reference. As I'm following along, there is a reference here in this paragraph. Good to remind myself. Good point. So we use the kinematic body character. This time we're going to look at another type of 3D node, the area. So what area? Area nodes are used for detection and influence. Okay, they can detect when objects overlap and when an object enters or exits a region. An area can also be used to override physics properties such as gravity or damping in a region. We are going to use area to create three types of objects. A coin the character can pick up, a bullet the character can shoot, spikes that damage the character. This is good, this is good. Getting into meat. Tasty meat ahead. To begin, let's set up some collision layers so that we can more easily control what objects the area can interact with. Open the project settings and find the layer names 3D physics section. Name the first three layers: environment, player, and pickups. Let me see. What is the environment to develop here? Okay, we are still in the same scope. as I'm not using versioning, this section is going to get implemented in the previous parts of the project, actually extended. So this is where I'm like developing on the side, following on the side, and keeping everything in the same project. So what would be my considerations for it? Like, say, adding new features. Do I need a reference for the state of project from previous day? How would I now branch? I don't have implemented a version control system. I don't use that. What would I do? So the other thing I can do is go out of the project, quit the project list, and do the versioning this way. Say here, can I edit, import, rename? So I would like to have here, for example, in the project manager, clone, duplicate, something like that. So this is another exercise, different aspect, like versioning or instancing another project, but without tooling. There's no tool for this, but there is a file explorer that I'll use probably. But so I'm thinking out loud. This is the interactive part on my side, and I'm finding out the way how to implement solution for this. So I want to keep a reference for the previous steps. I don't need to bloat the project with a clone, like clone scene, because I didn't prepare the project structure to branch this way into itself. But I can just copy the project folder and import it. Import will mean the project will appear. If I copy this project GD101, if I copy the folder in the Explorer on my hard drive, it will not show up here in the project manager. So I would need to import it. I would hit import here and select the specific well, select from here actually the duplicate project, but I would need to a bit customize it, change it a little bit. So if I click here, can I select anything from this guy? Importing will be importing it in project manager, that I understand. Blenders, where are my files? So I'll do this. At this point I will do it this way. I'll clone this just project folder in the file explorer. I'm just selecting the file explorer that has my drive already selected. So I have a long, complex private folder structures. I don't use for private stuff third-party services for versioning and library. I have already file system. Why do I need another tool on top of that? And even next version of Windows will implement their smart library system like they do. Each major version of Windows brings in new user interface with the symbolic links management system that is representing library of like a organization of private files. So I'll go here in the Godot stuff 3.6 to learning. This should be learning. So I need to copy this like this, copy here, but it will be yep, it will be copy, and I'll say this is, I'll change the structure of the name. So this is a living canvas. Kids can code too. No, they're not tutorials, they are the recipes 101, and this is my day 13, so that's the thing. And now I can import. When I have that done, I will not manually go hack inside the project with external tools. I'll grab this, copy the path to the now renamed directory of the clone project, paste it here, and say import and edit. But internally it's the same project, so inside this project doesn't have any distinguishable properties references. It still has all naming conventions. So it's called like it has even in the title. So to change that, I need to go in the project settings, like they're actually now talking about. They're also talking about modifying the right at the beginning for implementing new features. Go into the project settings. So if you're following along the Kids Can Code, you'll need, before you get going, you'll need to get to understanding how the workflow is going. Where the recipe starts, where is the initial project? When you start the recipe, you might want maybe just start from scratch for each section with a new project, or maybe do like this some hacky improvisation of custom versioning. So first I'll change this, and I'll dump the whole path from the clipboard, but here I'll just remove this. I'll leave this will be the name. So if I close this, I'll get that updated. So, and I can say perhaps Control Shift Alt S to save everything, and I'll reload the project just so it recreates any perhaps references that it rebuilds. But I didn't change any other. I know that I didn't do any modifications in the project that will influence the execution, the runtime, and the references in the code and in between relations of nodes and scenes. So I'm fine with that. I've just changed like a main catalog entry for the project, and it now sits in its own space. Let's say it will be distinguishable in the project manager, and I have the reference but the same code, and that's the thing. So I can use the previous version of code just to cover the previous steps, and because these next implementations we are going to do here are going to change it probably quite a bit from the perspective of features and and the general philosophy, how we're developing further from there.